He's not skilled enough. Right, I'll let Steve in now. So let's get cracking.
Am I here? I think I'm here.
Hey.
How are we getting on? Mate,
There we go.
it's been
Hey.
stressful.
We've already started the recording, but how are you doing, bro?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I've. It's been a long day. Let's just say that it's been a long day, but I'm here. I'm here.
He's made it. He's made.
I get a bit of anxiety when I don't have access to my phone as well. Sorry about that.
That's all right, mate. I know that. Why has it been such a long day?
So I had 22 check-ins, 2 new setups, and I trained at 7. Just about had 3 food breaks, and then I just about made it for 8. I just got my post up in time as well, because I have anxiety and I like to post at 8 o'clock every day. So I made it just in time. I probably need to sort these habits out, but yeah, and then I've got some more work to do tonight.
I get what you mean. I've got like a thing now where I won't post on stories unless I know I'm either just about to go through and reply to everyone in my DMs, or I've already just replied to everyone, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, what if people are like, why is this dickhead not replying to me, but you posted on stories?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I literally have the nightmare. There's 0 unread messages. Well, there is right now anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna finish. It's gonna be like 20 plus.
I had a consult with Christian, and he didn't let me look at my phone. He said, "He pointed us looking at your phone." He said, "You're not going to learn anything." So we did 6 till 7. I had 45 WhatsApps. It was a nightmare. It took 45 minutes to get through it all. And as I was halfway down,
that's absurd.
They was coming back. So I was like, yeah, this. No.
Yeah, you're just playing like ping pong, aren't you?
Like I was apologizing, but they was as good as gold. And then maybe in my head, I'm like, right, maybe I can be a little bit less anal about things now and try to just chill a little.
But what about you in general? Like, how is Steve?
To be fair, so I changed the time I train, which is helping me out loads, because I feel like I wasn't progressing for a long time. Well, not a long time, but a good month, 6 weeks. I wasn't progressing because work was so busy. I'm coaching a lot of people at my home gym. So whenever they see a client, it's nice to have a chat. We have a chat and a catch up. But when there's, say, 20 of them in there and it's a 5-minute chat, it's a long time. So I decided to train at a local gym. It's just exactly the same gym, it's just different color, to be honest. All the equipment's pretty much the same. Early in the morning. This way I can train early. I don't normally reply to people in the morning till about 8 anyway. So I've actually got like no phone time. It feels really weird. And the message come through, and I think, I don't actually have to reply to you, because I wouldn't normally reply till 8 anyway. I can actually train. The best sessions I've ever had, not lost any strength. I was always that guy which can't train fasted in the morning because you'll lose strength and not get a pump. And yeah, it's the best pumps, and it's the best progress I've made in like, what was it, like the 16th in like 17 days. I made the most progress I've made in a long time. So this has sort of made me feel like I need to get that in order before I go back to afternoon or evening training.
Yeah, switch into like morning sessions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
No, it's all good, bro. Carry on.
I was going to say, like, did you change your nutrition? Like, did you start kind of pushing food towards the end of the day, or just kind of leave it as is?
So it's made life a lot more easier, actually, because now I can spend the rest of my day evolved around. I don't, because everything's, like, and I know what it's like when we're super like into the gym, and our whole day is based around when we're going to eat to go to the gym. So we need to know how much food we're going to get in. Is that going to be digested in time? How many meals can we make? Well, when you train fasted in the morning, you ain't got to worry about it. The rest of the day is like, I have my cereal meal post-workout, and then I've got meals all day on tap, and it's just, don't have to worry about it at all. It is, if I didn't enjoy the chatting to a few people down the gym and seeing some friends and that, I would probably always train morning, because you don't have to think about food, especially when food's quite high as well, and it's a bit hard to get it in. At least I've got all day to fit it in, and I don't care backloading it. So, like last night, I had my meal at like 11 last night, which is late, but then I utilize that food in the morning, so then I don't feel too bad. So it's quite nice like that.
Yeah, and even though you're eating close to bedtime, you aren't getting fat, mate. Mental.
Getting fat, I'm still sleeping fine, but your body is it's working double as hard, man.
You're not burning it off, bro. You're not burning it off.
It's mad. I'm not having 1,000 calories pre-bed, and people are like not eating carbs after 6. It's
Yeah.
mad. I need some of them
Yeah,
glasses. I
crazy.
need some of them glasses because
Yeah, same.
screen time's doing me in. Oh, yeah.
I heard you say that. Yeah, so you reckon your vision's got a bit worse from all the
100%,
screens?
yeah, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
Every day.
That's mad.
Yeah, I had like
And how are you?
go on.
No, it's all good, mate. I was just gonna say, like, have you found it beneficial in terms of managing the business side of things by making that switch with the training, if that makes sense?
Yeah,
Because you've
so
got
it does.
that routine.
Yeah, it like so now I have a routine where everything's structured in places. Before it was more so I wasn't getting up early enough because it's not like Steve, can you have another half an hour? Yeah, of course you can, mate. Like I never gonna have a boss to tell me to. Before I've never had that. So
Yeah,
and I'm still getting used to this sort of, not doing what I want, but just trying to not like try and be a bit more stricter on myself. So that I would struggle. So I would start check-ins about 10 o'clock anyway, 9:30. So it was quite late. And then it was a bit of a rush to get them all done, try and eat and get to the gym. So I feel like since during the morning, I've got structure now. I have a start time where I do check-ins. I have eating times as before. I've always had eating times, but not quite as I was like, that's the time I eat. So I will go and eat. I will leave the next check-in and I'll go and eat, and then I'll come back to work. As before, I'm like, get them all done, get them all done, get them all done. So it's making life a lot more efficient.
And have you sort of scheduled that out at all, or you've literally just like put it down in your head, if that makes sense?
In my head, more so. Well, I more or less know it, to be fair. I'm a nightmare for writing stuff down. You should see it. I just have everything on my notes. I have the world's worst calendar. That's where my unorganization is not very good. I've got training dates with clients. I've got photo shoots. It's just all on my notes.
Oh no, I couldn't do that, man.
Everything is on my notes. But the life's never ended. Like it's so hard to explain. I haven't actually had 5 seconds to get to grips with everything that's happened. So I've not even had like Sunday. I got 10 setups done Sunday because it's my only day off. So I got 10 setups done because I couldn't get in front. And every day I'm doing two or three, and I'm working till 12, 1 at night. I'm training at 6:30, 7 in the morning. I just couldn't get it. So I said Sunday is my day off. No communication with clients. 45 WhatsApps, ridiculous on my day off. But I managed to get 10 done. So that's put me in front. So now, like yesterday, tonight, I haven't got to do any. I can relax a little bit. I'm in front, and I made a change which I didn't really like the idea of doing, and it's made my life so much better. And it was making a generic setup video, and I hate it, like because everything is so personalized, but I'm saying the same stuff every time, and then they ask me the same bloody questions. And I'm like, did you not watch the setup video that I just spent 30 minutes recording?
That's the worst one.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, yeah, it's at this point in the video.
Yeah.
Do you know what I did? Yeah, but I forgot. And that's what Christian said to me. They're 10 minutes into that, they've already forgot. So
Yeah.
now I've got one that covers everything. So this is your dashboard. This is where your food will be. This is where, if you do PDs, blah, 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 this is where it will be. This is the check-in system. These are my working hours. So when I come on, I'll send them two. I'll send them that one. And while I'm sending them that one, I'll literally call the other one and say, this is where your actual name is. I'll put you on my check-in system. This is your check-in day. And then this is just quick run over your food. Any problems? This is run over your training. I give them all my training styles, rep ranges, what I use, cluster sets and all that. So in the generic one, so it takes long to go through that. But then the other one, it just up. It takes me like 5-7 minutes. And it's working a treat, so I can get them done. And there isn't no complaints. If anything, it's just as good. And that's something I never ever really wanted to do, but realized I probably should have done it sooner.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and they're still getting that personalized element of in terms of like, this is actually your thing here, but you're saving yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes of stuff that you say every single time.
Every single
time. Like you saved yourself almost 2 hours on Sunday just for doing that.
Just for doing that, yeah.
Well worth it.
I did one, so it's a 17-minute generic one, and that has saved me 10 hours this month already. Because I worked out if you are roughly 25 minutes each one, it's already saved me 10 hours this month, or if not a bit more. I had some more signups today. So not even a bit more.
Mate, you should make I've got one of these, like an FAQ document, because if you give people a video and then you answer their question in the video, they kind of have to go searching through it. Whereas if you just write out like the 10 most common questions people ask you, like what is a cluster set, how hard should I train? Where is this? Where is that? And then just answer it in the document and then just send that out to new people. Like I do that. That saved me a lot.
Because what I have on my training blocks is next to it, I'll have what they are and how to perform them. So when they're doing their training, they can click on it and then they'll see it. And then, because they normally ask me, am I doing this right? And I say, on the right-hand side, have a read for that. If you still don't understand it, let me know and I'll explain it to you. So I just sort of, I'm very basic. This is the only, I'm not technical. I'm the world's worst at anything technical. I have my WhatsApp number in my bio. There is no form to fill out or anything, but they'll WhatsApp me and they're a client within one voice note. So there is no form back and forth, or an email. I don't know. I just come up with it one day and it just seemed to work so well. And I just, to be honest.
What would you say are the most sort of common questions you get asked by like new clients or prospective clients?
When I've one today in a brew, actually, like the resting times, they always ask how long they should rest for, which is just like I always say, so individual. I think everyone thinks that you need to do everything so fast. The faster you do it, the more calories you burn.
Yeah.
So forth. So I get that one quite a lot. What else do I get?
I always say with that, like, is the muscle you're actually trying to train ready to go? Okay, cool. Are muscles which are going to support that movement ready to go? Yeah. Have you actually got your breathing back? And then do you feel psychologically ready to do another hard set? And as long as you're ticked off there, then like go for it.
I see someone, I don't know who it was who said it, but he was like, you're starving your lungs full of oxygen is not going to help you do anything apart from get a crappy next set. Like you're not going to get anything from that.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah. So, but just rushing a little bit more. So, yeah, and that's one I get quite a lot. So I just tell them I say to them, look at your phone, because there's a big stigma around you can't look at your phone while you're training. But if you're training on your own and you want something to do, maybe look at your phone or do something that's just going to take you away. Because training on your own, and if you're not speaking to anyone in the gym, it can be quite hard you just want to go in again and again. And I have clients who message me, I've done that session in 40 minutes. And I'm thinking, probably shouldn't have took 40 minutes, should be a bit longer than that. So, to be fair, as I've learned as I've gone along, like making sure I drill in these warm-up sets, because they will just go in straight in, like, no around, straight in. I think this is learning, because like I just coach, majority is just lifestyle, to be honest. I've had actually quite a few like photo shoot prep clients and whatnot, but the majority is just lifestyle, and just they're so different to obviously people who are on it. So just explaining to them, and I go over that in the setup. Remember your warm-up sets. Remember to do this, and then it's good because people who have had for quite a long time, they get so much more experience, and then they're not this beginner who'd never been in the gym before. They get quite advanced, and it's quite cool to see.
Yeah, warm-up sets is a massive one, and that's actually something that I probably in the last sort of 6 months of my training I've changed, in the sense of I do a lot higher reps going into it, and now I'll do like a set of 10, a set of 5 or 6, and then a set of 2, and I'm ready to go. Like rather than wasting so much energy doing that, and it takes 5-10 minutes for a compound movement.
I see like advanced people like training, and they're doing like 15-20 reps, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you like? And this is where a lot of people get their volume from, just because they got that junk volume at the beginning. But if you want to make the most out of your sets, then it's hard. And what another thing I find, what I program quite a lot for beginners, is like 6 working sets. Imagine I told you to do 6 working sets, you'd be buried. But you tell a lifestyle client to do 6 working sets, it's easy, because they're stopping at 12. They ain't doing no more. That's why I utilize the cluster sets for them, because they don't understand the skill of training to failure. It's loads of stuff I've just learned as I've gone, because everybody always wants to coach advanced people who go to the gym, who's going to eat their meals every single day, and you're never going to get it. But you tell someone to do a max reps pull set on a leg press, has been quite a famous one all week, and all of a sudden loads of clients are like, my legs have never hurt so much. And I'm like, funny enough, you're training to failure now, and you don't have a choice. Like,
really weird that.
And everyone is like, their legs are buried. It's like I basically copied and pasted my training program to like 50 of my clients or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, if they don't train hard, they are going to have to do more volume to accumulate those effective reps that are going to get them to where they need to be physique-wise.
Yeah, this is why I get training clips. I've had some clients, I've been coaching them for 30 weeks, and then I finally get a training clip of them, and then you see it and you just think, oh, why don't you send me that? after 4 weeks because there's all sorts going on there, and you think, what is going on here? So I try and drill that in from the off. If you can ever get me anything sent over, that's amazing. I've got loads to work
Yeah,
with.
because in your brain you're like, they're performing it exactly how I would want them to, and
Yeah,
it's just not the case with the vast majority of people.
They're definitely not. Yeah, they're definitely not.
Yeah, you like give them a set of RDLs and you're like, yeah, that's a back and a hamstring and a glute exercise, and somehow they're like pulling in their like biceps, like throwing it up or something, and you're like, what? How are you doing that?
Yeah.
Is there any sort of ways you found to encourage people to film themselves in the gym?
Yeah, so first of all, I told them nobody cares, because at the end of the day, nobody does care. So you don't need to worry about that. I tell them that from the off, even down to getting into the gym. Nobody don't care. And you see the people in there, they're looking at themselves more than they're looking at you. And if they're looking at you, you're looking at them. So they're probably thinking, why are you looking at you? And they probably feel the same as you. So they're looking at you thinking, is she looking at me? And she's looking at him thinking, is he looking at me? Oh no, everyone's looking at me. I'm like, nobody's looking at no one. Just go and train.
Oh,
So-
that is so true. That's so
Yeah.
let them
true.
know that, and then it sort of does settle them down a bit. I've got a technique that I get a lot, gets my clients into the gym with a bit of gym anxiety, and I just say to them, look, don't worry about a tripod or anything fancy. Just stick it in the corner on the slide, chuck record. No one will see it. No one will know. I said, and then it helps me out loads. So some of them, you know, they won't do it, but the majority are pretty happy to send something over now.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And that's sort of a great way to identify like those training mistakes as well pretty early on. And the earlier on you start to see that, obviously the better progress people are going to make.
Yeah.
Are there any sort of big mistakes that you do tend to see with like people's training or nutrition when they first sort of come to you and tell you like, this is what I've been doing previously, like, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, with the cooking, it's always I'll like, how's your cooking going? I'm not losing any weight, body fat's not coming off, and then I'll find out like they're drinking their calories, they forget about, and they're cooking in bucket loads of oil. They forget. Oh, I forgot about the oil because I've got
Only a
can't
little
cook-
bit of oil.
I can't cook on a dry pound. So that's the two of the big things I find is they're drinking a lot of the calories and they're using bucket loads of oil.
I had
Yeah, and
a
that
client
stuff adds
running
up.
into issue of they were I forget which way around it was. I think they were using the cooked weight of couscous thinking that it was the raw weight. So they were
Yeah.
like, oh, this is sick, this is such a low calorie food, and actually they were going over by like 300 or 400 calories. So now I make a special effort, like when I write out like a meal ideas next to nutrition, if I'm like 100 grams of raw rice, I'll be like in brackets, this is about 360 calories, by the way.
So I do, because this is actually one of the questions I've got earlier, always gets asked. And in the top of the meal program, it says all food is raw, uncooked weight. And everybody always says to me, is it cooked weight or uncooked weight? And I'm like, it's at the top. And they're like, I scanned everywhere and I couldn't see it. And I'm like, yeah, it's at the top. And I just think if you do everything raw, you can't go wrong. It's like a
Yeah.
big debate in the bodybuilding industry. Should you cook raw or should you weigh raw or unraw? And I always think if it's raw, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, like I don't understand cooked. I could cook a chicken breast, weigh it out, and then cook it for longer, and it's going to weigh something completely different. Like, how do you?
This is my argument. I mean, and then you get people like, yeah, but I compete and I've won shows and this and that and whatever, or I've done this and I'm in good shape. And I'm not saying you're wrong, bro. Let's talk about your steroids you're taking as well. Like, don't worry about your chips or something like there's lots of factors going into play here.
Yeah, like
But
Clen is a
like,
great drug, you know, like that's why
Yeah.
you should it, bro.
I just think your rice, like rice and pasta, like you could probably get away with the rest to a certain extent, but rice and pasta, there ain't, and that is the biggest mistake.
Yeah,
And
carb sources are the big one where the error
Yeah.
is huge.
I was so dumb when I got into the gym. I was so dumb, and I had this bag of rice, and I'm cooking this rice because I've got to eat chicken and rice 6 times a day. I'm cooking it, and then I'm trying to weigh it out, and so I've got my food scales, bought my food scales, and I'm weighing it out. Got all my plates there, so I'm weighing it out, and I've got 100 in there, 100 in there, 100 in there, and then I'm going back, and then it's going down, and I'm like, so I'm rushing before it goes because it's going down and down, and I'm thinking one's going to be more than the other, and I couldn't understand why, and it was just because the weight's the steam, and it was getting lighter and lighter. And I was thinking there must be, but it didn't come to me at the time. I was thinking, must be an easier way to weigh your food out because this is a nightmare. How do people do this? And then the analogy I always use now for anyone who always says, should I weigh my rice out cooked or raw? I say, how would you weigh your oats out? I said, would you put water into your oats? Would you cook them? And then would you weigh them out after? Because that's stupid. I said, but if like, would you do that? No, don't weigh your rice like that. Then just do it raw. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, the best one I've got on that topic was because like in the meal plan, it was like 300 grams raw potato. And somebody was like, do I have to eat the potato raw? I'm like, oh no, please don't eat raw potato.
Oh,
Please don't do that.
Oh, don't.
That would be absolutely horrific. That would be absolutely horrific.
was that a fridge mug? Hang on.
Yes, I've got two of them. Is that right on the way? Yes, this way, isn't it?
To the listeners who aren't watching, he's got a Team Fridge mug. Is that Team Fridge behind you written twice or 3 times?
No, it is the Fridge, Team Fridge coach by Clough, or Team Fridge coaching.
Nice.
By Clough.
Are you wearing a Team Fridge t-shirt as well? I see blue on it.
We are Team
He's got a
Fridge
hat as well. He's got it all.
Oh
Bro,
yeah, one of my clients, Big Bex. I was just chatting to her before here, and she made me this. How cool is this?
Oh my
Oh,
god,
that is sick.
Epic. And she just
That
made
is
it herself.
absolutely
She
sick.
loves to knit. So I've got this and a little note from her, bless her. It's just like my little mascot at the old desk. Bless her.
How did you come up with that originally?
So I've always joked about and said like about being a fridge, because a fridge, everyone wants to be a massive big block. And then I reached out to Christian, who I wanted to coach me, and I said to him, because I used to get him clients all the time. I used to just say to people, go to Christian, he's really good. Go to him. And then I thought, because he kept saying, when are you going to come to me? And I thought, you know what? I'm trying to do this coaching malarkey. Why don't I get coached? It might help me be a better coach, because I'm trying to sell everything I don't even fucking do myself. So I messaged him once and I said, right, bro, time to turn me into a fridge. So and then it just sort of stuck. And then he would joke about calling me the fridge, and then I said about being the fridge, and then I thought, you know what? Someone said something one day, and they're like, yeah, we're part of the fridge, and I'm like, yeah, we're Team Fridge. And then I just come up with Team Fridge coaching, and then people jump on it now and they don't even know what it means, and they're like, yeah, we're part of Team Fridge. Do you know what it means? And they're like, no, not really.
I was speaking to someone the other day and I mentioned your name and they were like, oh, who's that? And I'm like, you know who I mean, the fridge. And they were like, oh, yeah. Like,
I find it mad.
I don't even know your name.
I find it mad when
it's gone beyond that. Yeah. Mental. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Listening to old Carbs cast, whenever you'd send in a question, they'd be like, oh, the cloth under the sofa. The cloth under
that was me, yeah, a bit of cloth.
They found a bit of cloth.
I remember that. That was absolutely class.
Oh, dang.
Luke,
And
do you
what
have
does
any Insta questions? Or were you going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got another couple that I wrote down. So you've got sort of quite a wide range in terms of, well, though, you've got quite a good mix between male and female clients, if that makes sense. Or at least from what I've seen. Do you notice sort of any big differences between coaching males versus coaching females?
To be honest, no. I mean, to be honest, like females are just sometimes so much easier. Like they will not complain. They will get through it. Got a cold, I'm still gonna go down the gym. I'm like, don't go. No, I'm gonna go. They just crack on, do it, check in on time. Some of them obviously are nightmares, but same as a lot of the guys. But you'll never complain. They'll crack on with it. I find, and this is what I find mental when I see a lot of guys and they're like, oh, I help busy individual men. I'm like, but you just cut off half of the population, so you're not going to help women, and your money, you're not going to go to no clients. And why don't you help women as well? So I find women just easy, just as good. And I'm quite grateful and thankful that I have so many lady clients, because I didn't at first. And I remember I put a thing out saying like I want a few more women on board just to get a bit more experience. So I was offering it half price just to bring a bit more experience. And then a few come on board and it was going. And then at one point I had loads more women. I probably do have more women than men at the moment. But yeah, I think women, they're just easy. Men can sometimes be a bit of a pain.
What I tend to find as well is they're like a lot more receptive to like advice and feedback, if that makes sense. So if you say like, oh, do this to improve this exercise, they're like, yep, I'll do that next session.
They'll try
Whereas
anything.
like I know when I was sorry,
they'll try anything. You tell a guy to do something, no, that ain't gonna work, bro. It is gonna work because I'm your coach. You tell a girl to start training her chest. Is it gonna work? Like, Is it going to affect my boobs? No, of course it ain't. You've still got muscle there. Okay, I'll try it. All of my ladies, they love their push day now. Literally love their push day. Love not dieting forever. Love actually having energy and not thinking they need to have a 6-pack every 5 seconds. Yet the guys can be a nightmare. Change their mind every 5 seconds. If my guy clients watch this, they'll be like, "You dickhead."
I feel like
Yeah, I remember when I was like first getting into the gym, I thought like I know everything, like nobody can give me advice ever. I know what's going on. And now I'm like, yeah, like there's still so much more stuff out there to learn. You just learn new stuff every day.
Even with the coaching, I always say to every client, I've got this from Christian, funny enough, is we work together. So if you want to do something and I don't think that's probably going to be good for you, but that's going to help you stay more adherable to the plan, we put that in. Because at the end of the day, that's going to make your life more easier, and it's going to make the coaching work better. It's pointless me saying something to you if you're going to struggle with it. So we'll work together. And that's why I say of all my clients, can we change this? Can we change that? Yeah, you give me some feedback. What would you like to be changed? And I'll make it work so that it's more sustainable for you. So then we're always working together.
I feel like I've had to do that a lot more for male clients, though, is kind of like tweaking things to keep them accountable. Whereas, like you said, with women, it's kind of like they're like, here's my goal. And you're like, okay, do this. And then they're like, okay, they just go and do it.
Yeah. I coach a lot of couples.
Really?
The women smash it. Some of the guys do as well, but the women just smash it. Oh, they grass up their other half. He's having a takeaway tonight. I'm going to let Steve know.
Yeah, no, girls with food, they like make their food so interesting as well. They like actually try. Whereas like when I see what some of my guy clients are eating, I'm like, you don't have to eat that boring, right?
Yeah, I see, honestly, and it's so like someone tagged me on their Instagram, and I think I've got to share this now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm feeding you dry mince and rice, and one of my ladies will be like, Taco Bell this, fancy this, a bit of green on this, a bit of green on that, and I'm like, that looks so nice, like it's so appealing.
Yeah, just share their food. It's fine.
It's like literally like cardboard and fucking chicken on. They tag you and you're like, ah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm like with my food half the time now. Like I just bung it in a bowl.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. I'm literally whenever clients when they send me their food, someone sent me their food last night, and I was like, yeah, I'm eating this, and it was just literally, I think it was chicken and mince with a little bit of sauce. She was like, that looks dry, and I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's very dry, but I've had a busy day and I just need to eat.
Standard. I remembered what I was going to say earlier, because you were saying like, if I want to make coaching work, I should probably sort of get a coach. And this is something Jack and I were saying the other week, how like that's sort of one of our, like, or at least one of my biggest sort of pet peeves as coaches that have never had coaches.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to deliver a process that they have no idea about, if that makes sense.
Everybody wants to be a coach, or it's in everybody's bar. Everybody's a coach now, and I never because everybody's got to start somewhere. But I don't understand how you can be a coach. You don't even have coaching sheets or anything. You just want to, I'm going to be a coach now, and I'm going to tell X, Y, Z to what to do, and you have no experience whatsoever. I always think you need to, and I say this to people all the time, you need to get yourself a coach, find out how you are coach yourself, and then do it. Because especially even I mean, if Chris Bumstead needs a coach, you need a coach, bro. I know, he needs a coach, and you're telling me, no, I don't need a coach. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. Or, hey, bro, can I sign up to your coaching? I know what I'm doing. I just need some help with the food. No, you don't know what you're doing. Trust me, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, if someone ever utters the phrase like, I've got training sorted, or like, I know what I'm doing, I'm like, never utter those words. Even like,
get ready for some horrific training footage then.
Yeah, like even the coaches at the top will be like, I don't know everything. They won't be like, I've got it on lock, bro. That's just not what people who know what is going on are going to say.
Definitely.
Yeah, as well, I had a guy the other day ask me how to set up macros, or do I know anywhere that has some macro recommendations. I was like, yeah, there's some stuff on MyFitnessPal and Chronometer that will help you with that. And then he sort of goes on to tells me that he's like giving people macros and stuff. I'm like, but you don't even know how to work them out. Like, what are you doing?
It's mental. It's everywhere. It is literally rife. There's stuff. Yeah. I mean, I see it all the time, and they'll put up their food program and their clients put up, and it's just the amount of clients I've taken, and they've said, I've taken some clients from some higher people, and it's like, you are only allowed phage, or however you pronounce it, yogurt. You're not allowed any other yogurt. These ain't prep clients. These ain't even photo shoot prep clients. You're only allowed green beans. You're not allowed any other veg. It has to be the brand. You have to have Lindt dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not balling in it. Like, what if I want Tesco's own branded yogurt, and what if I wanted some Tesco's dark chocolate? It has to be 85% or more.
That's
I just,
ludicrous. 85% tastes like dirt unless you melt it on something though.
Yeah.
70% all the way.
the bodybuilding coaches who don't know the difference between a prep client and a normal client, and you know, Susan is 40, doesn't want to be eating mince and rice. She just don't want to be.
Yeah, there's those guys who like pick up a PT qualification and then they do a bit of bodybuilding, they get really into it, they get some like some bit of muscle on them, and then they start coaching everyone to just get in shape. And it's like, all you know is your method of bodybuilding. You don't actually know why it works. You don't really have that much experience trying other methods. And when someone asks you for like, what carbs should I be eating? Your answer is rice, because that's all you've ever eaten.
Yeah. Have you ever gone down the gym and you see like the guy and he's like the leader of the wolf pack and he's showing all of his friends how to do all the exercises, and you just look and you're on the machine next to him and you're performing it to perfection, and he is doing something that you wouldn't even prescribe to your dog, and it's like you just look at it and I think, but I'm here, bro. You can see my t-shirt. It says I'm a coach. I'm here, and you're telling them to do that, and you're not working your chest or your shoulders. I don't know what you're doing, and I'm doing the same movement but properly, and they'll follow him.
That annoys me. When you're wearing a t-shirt, I've got a t-shirt that says coach on the back, and if I'm doing a movement heavier than them with better control and it says coach on my back and you're not coming to talk to me, it's like, what is the point?
I tried to, so I joined a 24-hour gym when work was even more mental, and I was training there in the evenings, doing a bit of cardio, and I remember I helped one guy, and I just got in there and I see it, and I hadn't been in one of these gyms in a long time, and he was lying on the bench doing some sort of front raise for his something or another, and he was showing his friend how to do it, and I was lean at the time, I was really shredded actually, I was doing a photo shoot, and I took my top off and they was looking over at me, and they saying, you're in good shape and all this and that, and I said, oh, thanks guys, you haven't dieting. I said, just give you a little hand. I said, don't worry about these front raises. I said, you're going to hit that when you do your pressing. I said, because you've already done your pressing, so you've hit it. I said, I wouldn't worry about this. Save this, like, you know, for years down the line. I said, but you don't need to do any front raises. I said, you want to do side raises, you want bigger delts, you want to do side raises. Don't worry about your front raises. You're going to do more pressing. You'll hit that anyway, regardless. Oh, thanks, appreciate that. They went back and started doing the front raises.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'll leave that now. I'm not gonna help anybody else.
Oh my days, that's absurd.
And I see him in there, and they do the same routine every time. Same routine.
Yeah.
And I've got no idea why I'm not building any muscle though. Like, I don't know what it is.
And then them same people will go on Insta and be like, yeah, great session, we're grinding, going to be huge, 2023 is my year, you know, give it
I'll do like a trident emoji as well. Have you seen that, bro?
No, what is it?
It's like all of the like Ziz TikTok lot. They'll just like do like trident emojis and random shit on their
the guys that are obsessed with looking aesthetic. They're like, I don't want to get too blocky, I want to look aesthetic.
That TikTok is ruthless. I downloaded that, put some videos on there. They have no filter. There is no filter on there. It's like, your nan's gonna die if you carry on looking like that. It's the sort of shit that they get. It's like, thanks, bro. Like, that's probably not good for any young guy or girl to go on, I don't think. Or look at your.
It gets under my skin when people who clearly don't know what they're on about come and talk to someone like us, where we're like sharing education and like backing up what we're saying, and they're just like, nah, you're wrong. And you're like, how? Like, tell me how, please.
Yeah.
I had a guy tell me not to lock out on the leg press because it's dangerous. And when I asked him why, he said he's been a coach or he's been a trainer for 20 years. But that's not really a reason.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the PTs when you were training? I'm actually like borderline banned from some gyms now because the PTs moan. So there's a gym, Virgin. They moan that I wore my t-shirt. I was training with a client down there, and they moaned about wearing my t-shirt. And the PTs were moaning that I'm nicking their clients. I don't even know any of their clients, but apparently I'm nicking their clients. So they went up to one of my clients, the manager, and she said to him, like, if he comes down, he's not allowed to wear his t-shirt anymore. And I just find it upset. I went down there one morning and trained with a client a couple of days ago, the weekend. But it was early in the morning, so nobody said anything. But the PTs were looking, and they didn't look too happy. I find it mental. The world we live in now is absolutely absurd. And then the way they're training their clients, like, you can see the lady, she's 17 stone and she's doing a 1 rep max. And I'm like, what is she getting from that?
Yeah.
What's going on? It's mental. It is absolutely mental. And yeah, TikTok drives me crazy as well. Do you remember when you used to sort of you'd wear white boxes for your check-ins and you just don't do it anymore now because of the comments?
I haven't put my checking photos up forever, but I'd always get loads of stupid messages anyway.
Mate, if you did that on TikTok, like it's absurd. It's just absurd. Like it's just comments and comments and comments. I'm like, what does this have to do with like anything? Why?
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's such a poor social media, man, honestly. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to say, speaking about like PTs, and we're talking about like the amount of like shit coaches there are out there. They need to, first off, they need to make becoming a PT, they need to make that a better course and a harder course and actually teach people something. And then also there needs to be some form of like coaching board. Like someone needs to come in and just be like, okay, we certify you, we back these people. Because yeah, this industry is just like, I feel like there are coaches out there doing good coaches a disservice by putting people on.
I feel like you can get you employ an accountant, but you can get a chartered accountant. So at least the people will know if that accountant won't be dodgy. So they don't need to look into him because he's a chartered one. As you can get loads of dodgy ones. At least you could get a coach who is registered. So then you've got the choice. Then who are you going to pick to come cut your grass? The geezer who down the road who looks a bit dodgy driving his van that's falling apart with 3 hillbillies in the back, or you're going to get the one who's certified. Like you know, it might cost you £10 more, £15 more, but you're going to get the certified one. And I feel that they should bring that in because anybody's going to do it anyway. Everybody does whatever they want in this world, but at least you can look through and say, oh, actually, that one's because people look at everything as a following. Oh, he's got 50,000 followers. He must be a good coach. Why? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, he's an influencer. If he's got 50,000 followers, he's an influencer.
Yes, people automatically assume, no, he must be a good coach. He must know what he's doing, or she must know what she's doing. And it's just, and I think I'm quite lucky that I've got through that loophole where I've got quite a high volume of clients with a very small following. Just to say, you do not need to have. And I was speaking to one of my friends down the gym tonight. He's a really good PT as well. And he even said to me, like, when I watched your video and you said how many clients you got and how many followers you got, he said, I've only got 900 followers. He went, but I could never PT 900 people. I was like, no, imagine 40 out of them 900 you're PTing on a weekly basis. You're balling. I'm like, so you don't even need to, you don't even need to worry about likes or anything. You could put one post up, it takes one post, you get 1 like on that post, but you gain 3 clients because 3 people actually liked what you said, and then they give you a DM, and then it's just as easy as that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and going back to sort of what you said about like the regulation and that sort of thing, the way that I think about it is like a PT qualification is like a driving test. You actually learn to be a really good driver once you've already passed and you're on the road by yourself and doing things. But unfortunately, most people see it as, oh, I'm a PT now. I never need to learn anything ever again.
Yeah, it's just I always say that you don't learn how to drive until you start driving, and it's exactly the same. And I've coached plenty of PTs, and this is what makes me laugh when they say, like, you need to be a PT before you be an online coach. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't even say you need to do that, because the PTs that I coach, there are some questions that are very questionable. And I think what's the difference here?
Yeah, I've had a couple PTs asking me questions where I'm like, yeah, remind me what your job is again.
Yeah, which is not their fault, to be fair. I don't think it's ever their fault. I think it's just I mean, years ago, my friend wanted to become a PT, and I went down and I was his body for the day, so he could show me to do stuff for his qualification, and it was just so basic. We was there for like 40 minutes, and then that's it. Here you go. You're now a qualified PT. Yeah. And they promise you'll get a job and you'll make loads of money, and it's still quite the same.
Mm.
Mental. I remember you saying on the podcast with Becca that you did like last month, I believe it came out a couple of days ago, that you don't use scale weight as like a measure for all of your clients. How do you sort of identify if that's going to be the right choice for somebody?
So first of all, I asked them. So I've got plenty of clients who don't like weighing themselves. So they say to me, I don't like weighing myself. So I say, okay, we don't have to weigh yourself, but let me explain to you what weighs weight first. And then I'll list off, inflammation, water, hormones. I say all these things weigh weight, but we only attach body fat as scale weight. And I said, and trust me, when I'm dieting and I'm jumping on them scales and I know what weighs weight, I still have an emotional attachment. Christian, why haven't I dropped weight this week? Well, you hit legs yesterday. Oh yeah, probably why. But I know, I said, so if I know that, then I can understand how you feel. But just remember that if you don't want to, like, you don't want to weigh yourself, that's fine. Well, I don't mind weighing once a week. No, no, there's no point weighing yourself once a week. What we're going to get from that? We're going to get nothing from that. If we don't get a weekly average, it's pointless. And I do it in my setup video. So I go through, this would be a typical day of weighing. Say you weigh 170 today, tomorrow you weigh 169, the next day you weigh 168. The next day after that, you hit legs, you weigh 175, it'll bucket load of inflammation, and you've been drinking water like it's going out of fashion because you're now healthy. I said, then the day after that, you go back down to 165. I'm like, you weigh once a week, 175. Steve, you're a dickhead. I'm meant to be on a diet. I put on 5 pounds. You weigh the next day, Steve, you're a genius. I've lost 5 pounds. No, your average is 2 pounds down. So I'm like, so unless you're going to weigh more often for me, we can just move that to one side. We don't need it. We've got measurements, we've got photos. At the end of the day, get up in the morning and look in the mirror. Are you happy with what you see? Because I have clients here, they'll get up in the morning, they'll look in the mirror, they'll disregard what they see, they'll step on the scales, and whatever that scale says is whether they're going to be happy or not happy today. And I find it absolutely absurd. And this is guys as well. I've got friends and clients who want to hit a certain weight, and if they don't hit that weight, they're so pissed off. I'm below 180. I'm fucking annoyed now. And it literally, I'm like, look in the mirror, because it's just, I said, we can cheat the scale weight system if you want. I can dry you out. I said, I can remove all of your glycogen. I said, we can lose loads of weight. I was like, but it's not body fat. So so we can use all different ways. So I have loads of clients, we can just track different ways, and I use their how they're feeling, their energy, if they're feeling fucked, basically. Loads of different metrics, which is fine, to be fair.
Yeah, like literally just before you joined, I was saying to Jack how I've literally just gone into a game phase. My calories are like 1,000 higher, and then the past 2 days I've woke up like a kilo heavier than the previous ones, and my emotional brain is going, "Oh, you're a kilo heavier. You're getting fat. What are you doing?" And then my coach brain is going, "Why are you being a dickhead? Like, just be quiet."
Yeah, it's leaving itself out. Leaving itself out. Yeah.
It's so person dependent as well. Like normally for me, when my food goes up, my weight will drop like for the first time when I come out of a mini cart. But then yeah, you'll have some people where their like body weight spikes, body weight comes down. I think that's good that you kind of talk to people about what is weight, and like, you know, telling people that okay, that scale isn't a measure of how fat or how muscular you are. It's just like how much of your entire body there is pushing downwards.
Yeah. Because they they send me the ones they get at the gym where they put their hands on it and it tells them their body fat percentage and the world's worst metrics. And I said, look, all we can do with that is use whatever reading you got first and then match that to your following readings. I was like, but don't take that as you're not 14% body fat and you're not 20% body fat, because it can mean, and they're just so not accurate. When someone goes and gets a DEXA scan and it's still not even accurate, what is that? This thing that you're putting your hands on at the end of the day, when you've been eating and drinking and God knows what all day, like it's so inaccurate.
Yeah, like if you
I remember I had a guy say to me like, "Oh, I'm 5% fatter now than I was this morning."
Yeah,
I'm like, "No, you've drank some food. You've drank some food. Hopefully nobody's drank some food."
I've got some clients who drink their food because they can't eat. We have to drink it. It's a nightmare.
Oh, I did that, but it just makes me feel more sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like trying to get this massive thick shake down. But yeah, like just weigh yourself once a day in the morning, fasted, if you want to weigh yourself at all.
Getting obsessive numbers is so weird. Like imagine you walk into a club and you're like, you look like shit, but you're like, what's up, ladies? I'm 80 kilo, 10% body fat. You know, like it doesn't matter.
It's absolutely absurd, isn't it? And we just get so caught up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's something that Christian says, where he's like, we don't walk around with a massive sign on us saying how much we weigh. Like,
Exactly.
it's how we look in the mirror into other people that matters, really.
I take people's. So I've got one client, a new client's recently signed up. And she said to me, "I'm not happy with the scale weight. I want to lose 0.5 pound a week now, every week." And I said, "But 0.5 pound of what?" I said, "What do you mean?" But I said, she come to me. She was having low energy. She was like sugar crashing. She couldn't stick to her diet. She was eating sweets. It was just a full circle complete. I said, "You've been with me for 2 weeks." I said, "Your calories are the best they've ever been. You've had the most amount of energy you've ever had. We've started weighing yourself, and I think you're 2 pounds down now in 2 weeks anyway." I was like, "But you held weight for 1 week." I think she held weight for 1 week. I said, "So all this is going well. Your training's never been so good." I was like, "So what is the?" But I want to get a more toned this and a more toned that, and it's and I understand, and I'm like, but there isn't the muscle there. Like, we need to get you to a certain place so we can start putting you to a muscle building phase. Like, you want to try and a lot of guys do this as well. They want to reveal the muscle that's not there. I want to look like this guy, so I need to lose some more fat, but there's no muscle there. And then what that happens is they bring it down a little bit more, and then they can't maintain it, and then they overeat, and then they gain body fat, and then they're not happy, so then they diet down, and in the end, just worse and worse and worse, and you never really get to where you need to be. Understand to where, look, this is the best you've ever felt. Like, I want to add in another run or a run, or want to add in another gym session. Let's just, like, everything's going well. Let's not run before we can walk. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. And trying to get that through to some clients sometimes is hard. But like I say, sometimes it does stick. She's like, yeah, you're right. I've been, and I said, look, give me 12 weeks. If it don't work after 12 weeks, you go on your way. I said, but you've paid me, and you tell me what you want to do that's not working. But when you join me, you said you have a tendency to overtrain. I was like, we've got you on 4 days a week. Your training's been, so everything's in place, and now you want to do your overtraining. I said, but you've employed me to stop you doing that. So I said, it would be selfish of me to let you go and do another run and another gym session and a 5K run when you're 2 pounds down in 2 weeks and you've got the energy you've never had. I'm like, logically, let's think. Like, I'm here to work with you, but logically, let's think. This is probably going all right at the moment. Yeah, you're right. I know I'm right.
Yeah, it's my job, man.
This is me all day. Headache PB.
That's brilliant. I get what you. What advice would you give to somebody who is like listening to this, struggling with their body image, their relationship with food, and how to go about the journey of helping with that?
I would probably say to, first of all, maybe employ someone to take the stress away from you, because you could be going around in circles and circles and circles. So maybe employ someone who has helped people in a similar situation to you. So if you know anyone, or if you know a coach who has helped people improve their relationship with food, so on and so forth, maybe go with that. Otherwise, try and attack the problem. So it normally is there in your face, but people don't want to admit it. And like, you're probably eating too. Is it sustainable what you're doing? Your calories are probably too low. Your energy output is probably too high. And it's that 90% of female clients who come to me are on 1,200 calories, and they're doing 5 cardio sessions a week, and they're training 6 times a week, and they're overweight. And then I say to you, like, it's bullshit, really, isn't it? Because you're not eating 1,200 calories a day and doing all of that, because you would be Mrs. Fucking on a stage, like, shredded to the bone. You're unsustainably dieting and then overeating and then following a circle. So I say, like, address one problem at a time, whether that means you need to feed yourself up on a certain amount of sustainable calories, pull back and reset. And that's what I get quite a lot of clients. I've got one client, she's a young girl actually, and she's got a real bad emotional attachment to weight. She put on 2 pounds, I think, in 12 weeks. She's devastated. She's got so much potential. She's got great genetics, and she's devastated. And I said to her, this is fine. I said, but you've employed me to be your coach, and I'm all right at this job. I'm all right that I think that I probably have put 2 pounds of muscle on you in 12 weeks. Without bigging myself up, I probably have, because you haven't gained one bit of body fat. She's shredded. She's too shredded. But, we're improving her relationship with food. Her food's into a decent spot, to be fair. She's eating a decent amount of calories. And I said, I would be crap if I couldn't have at least put 2 pounds on you. I said, but I can't actively see any body fat. So it's just trying to change her way of thinking. And she's like, do you know what? I think you might be right, because I haven't got any body fat, and I'm 2 pounds up, and I feel good, and I've got energy. And I'm like, right, well, let's keep doing what we're doing then. Let's just try and take away from the weight. I said, well, don't weigh yourself. Like, don't weigh yourself. Pull away from it and just see how you look in the mirror and how you feel.
Banging, mate.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Do we have any Insta questions, Luke? I've got a couple lined up.
I got one from DP Fit, which is clearly a joke, which was like something along the lines of, how do you feel about following up after us having like such an incredible guest on with him last week, or something like that?
Got the fridge on, bro.
Yeah, honestly, mate, he needs to sort it out. He needs to sort his behavior out.
Yeah, rude. I did edit out the recreational drug use at the start of last episode.
Well, I assumed that.
Yeah. I was tempted to leave it in when he was like, he was like, Mum, it's not what it looks like. But
You should have just put it to the end for anyone that listened all the way through.
that's such a good idea. I could still do it, to be fair. It's not yet uploaded, it's still drafted. So maybe
Yeah, like Pulp Fiction, where it's just like starting at different points and all that.
yeah, we'll just draw people in.
What were the questions you got? And then we'll let Steve go because he's a busy man.
Yeah, apologies, man, for keeping you.
That's fine.
I've got a 2-in-1 question that I thought these are fantastic. I was so gassed of this question, right? What is your nightmare day of eating and your nightmare day of training? So like the worst thing possible that you could be told to eat, like if you were to design an anti-meal plan and design an anti-day of training. You personally?
I'm pretty easy with the food. I suppose anything that was vegan. I don't like vegan food or vegan. So Abby, she's one of the Team Fridge coaches, and she was vegan for a long time. Whenever we go for a coffee, we have to go to a vegan place. And I'm like, what milk would you like? And I always say anything that is as close to normal milk that isn't normal milk, please. I'll have that in my coffee, please. So anything, if it was a vegan, if I had to follow a vegan diet for a day, absolute nightmare. I would hate that. And then training wise, I think anything CrossFit based, nightmare. I couldn't be dealing with any of that.
So a vegan CrossFitter would be like, if you went to hell, that would be like your version of hell.
A vegan CrossFitter.
There's definitely a couple of them out there.
Yeah, we're probably going to get someone replying to this being like, oh, I was going to ask Steve for coaching and now I was going to ask him for advice with my CrossFit and my vegan diet, but now I'm not going to.
Thank bro, I'll send you somewhere else.
I had a vegan seminar tutor today who studies how to get men to be vegan. So like encouraging them to uptake vegan stuff. I was like, I probably shouldn't bust out my chicken and rice in this seminar. Probably shouldn't go for that.
You just pull out the chicken. You leave the rice. Nah, not today.
Yeah,
I find
that's a really good question, actually. I like that.
I find the vegan a bit mad, like the whole vegan, like everyone has their own things they want to do, but it just seems like that's the only one thing that it pressures it on everybody else. Like you just do.
It's not even like it's better for the environment, but it's still not perfect. And like I think it was John Jewett and Luke Hoffman were talking about it. They were like, the best diet is just balance. Like you don't need to go crazy and like be an extremist and like cut something out. Just balance.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Amen.
Is that how we're gonna end it then? Us hating on veganism?
Yeah. Veganism sucks. Sorry, Abby.
That's fine. I'll give her the link. I'll tell her to watch. She's not vegan anymore, actually. She come away from it. She made
no way.
Yeah, she's fully.
Actually, I think I did see that. Yeah.
She's not been vegan now for like 4 months. I think she sent me an up-to-date photo today. 4 months not being vegan. She made some mad gains, so she was doing really well anyway. And as soon as we had meat, we had the meat on board. It was like ridiculous. She's made some mental gains now.
Yeah.
Moral of the story: get some real protein in you.
That's it.
Start eating small children and small animals. That's optimal.
Not small children.
Why not?
That is that's a little bit weird. Well, yeah, mate. Thank you very much for your time. I think a lot of people are going to take some good stuff away from this. Pleasure to speak to you as always. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, great.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having me.